Awesome, 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 awesome. Do me a favor, family. Can everybody type a 111 in the chat if you guys can hear me and see me loud and clear? All right, we are live. Let me know. Let me know. Awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. What's going on, family? How is everybody doing? How is everybody feeling? Right. I hope that you guys are having a phenomenal, phenomenal day. Right. I hope that you guys had a phenomenal weekend, and so on and so forth, family. So what's going on? Guys, for those of you guys who do not know me, my name is Nick Hall. I've been a part of this wonderful, amazing platform right here with Life by Design within I Mastery Academy for about 2.5 years now, guys. And it's been a blessing, right? This skill set, this industry has completely transformed and changed my life, right? And so, what I wanted to go ahead and do, guys, is I want to go ahead and set the call off right, right? We're going to bring some high energies, high vibrations, right? Because success loves that, right? Success loves that. But, guys, the topic tonight, right, is launching. Right, the topic tonight is launching, and so I want to go ahead and give you guys a little brief understanding on what it really means to launch, what it really means to launch your guys' business. What exactly is that, right? And so let's really take a second to kind of backstep a little bit, backpedal a little bit, and really just understand what it really means, to start something opposed to launching something. See, the thing is when we understand the simple concept behind, right? Let's put it in perspective in regards to rockets. Right. Yes, you can start a rocket, right? However, if you do not launch it, then it's not going to go up into the atmosphere, right? And it's the exact same thing when it comes down to your guys' business. Like, yes, everybody has started their business, but nobody has officially launched their business, right? Up until they've actually physically launched their business, right? So, the individual that we actually have onto this call that's really about to break down, what it truly means to, launch your business. It is somebody that has legitimately been able to help thousands of people do the exact same thing, right? This man is, someone that I have the utmost respect for. There's no better or other person, right, that, could really break down this information to the T on what it really takes to launch your business successfully, right? Give your guys the ability to put yourself in position. Not only that, give you guys the ability to, help your team, right? Launch your guys' businesses successfully so they actually have sustainability, right? That is the true benefactor in regards to launching your business opposed to just starting your business, right? So I'm actually going to go ahead and step out of the way of greatness, right? And pass the torch over to somebody that's going to show and break down exactly how you guys can go out here, right? And launch your guys' business. Everybody type launch in the chat. Everybody type launch in the chat, right? Because not only, right, is this individual about to launch and catapult your guys' business, but this man is literally about to launch your guys' brains on a whole bunch of different information around how you guys can go ahead and do so. This is someone, like I said, that I have the utmost respect for, right? Somebody that has, literally came in here and shook up the industry, someone that is literally a powerhouse, right, within this entire industry. Someone that I look for mentorship to guidance, when it comes to business and even outside of this business. And he is always there. He's someone that I can definitely depend on. He's someone that I know for a fact that, others on this call, for sure can depend on as well. And like I said, what other greater person, that I can be able to run this business up and launch my business side by side with, right? The one, the only, right? The man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Cruiser, the creator. Cruz, are you on here, my brother? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pass the show over to you so you can go ahead and give us mad value. Everybody do me a favor, drop some C25s in the chat. Right, blow up this chat with some C25s. Right, let me go ahead and find Cruz real quick. Boom, Cruz, it is all you, my brother. I'm going to go ahead and pin you so you are all good.
What's good, family? Yo, how is everybody feeling tonight? Yo, guys, let's stop the C25s. Drop some dollar signs in the chat if you or your team has made money on Nick at Night. Drop some dollar signs in the chat. We're going to break the chat box with this one. But y'all already know Nick goes above and beyond for his team. And not only is he one of the best traders in Life by Design, and is going to be probably the first educator from Life by Design, but also a future chairman as well. So I appreciate you so much for opening up the call and what it is that you do for the entire squad. And guys, I'm excited. Today, we're going to be talking about how to launch, right? I'm going to give you guys the perspective of the person who is doing the launching. Maybe you're brand new. If you're brand new, then you want to be thinking about it as you being the person that's getting your business launched right now. But I'm going to give you guys the perspective of, okay, I just got someone started. How do I set them up for success for the next 30, 60, 90 days? And so, first of all, drop a 777 in the chat if you were just at I'm United. And if you're fired up from that event. Guys, I was talking to Jason Brown and Matt Rose, and I was like, yo, like I've been attending events since I was 19 years old in this industry. I'm 26. And I said, yo, that is one of the best, most organized, exciting, crazy announcements, one of the best events that I've ever seen. And I know that people are fired up. So, you know, if you weren't able to go to that event, I'm telling y'all, get your tickets for this next event ASAP while the early bird prices are right now. But guys, it's crazy because now everybody has the mindset, they have the skill set, they're operating on the highest frequency possible. And I'm already seeing in my personal organization, I can only speak personally, dozens of people enrolling. And I know that over the next 30, 60, 90 days, that's going to be hundreds and hundreds of people enrolling. But let me tell you the truth. The truth is, it doesn't matter how many people that you enroll if you cannot set them up for success. It does not matter how many people you start in the business if you cannot get them set up for success, both with trading and the business side of things. And so that's my goal tonight, is to give you guys a clear picture, to give you guys a blueprint. So there's no guesswork. You know exactly what you got to do to set your to set your new member up for that success. So let me share my screen with you guys. So different teams launch in different ways. If you are in my organization, chances are this is what you're going to be using. I know some people are using the wealth launch. That's absolutely amazing. Now, either way, the principles that I'm going to share with you are the exact same either way. This is a document that myself, Leanne, some of the top leaders in the organization have been spending the last weeks putting together to make sure that we gave people the exact step-by-step process to be successful, both with trading and the business. It's now dummy proof. And that is exactly what this is. Guys, in our previous company, Leanne made the launch document for that company. Tens of thousands of people in that company used it to launch their businesses for, properly. And so I'm telling you, not from, I think this is going to work. I'm telling you guys from an experience standpoint that I know that if somebody hops in and follows this step by step, it's impossible for them to fail. Now, one thing I will say is this. So we'll start with the front page. There's two pages. One side is for trading and one side is for marketing. One side is for the business side of things. And so I'm gonna give you guys 5 things for when it comes to launching your people correctly first. So I'm gonna give you guys 5, like, what's the point of the launch? Why is this important? I'm gonna give you guys 5 things, like why we're even doing this. So number 1 is that we're validating their decision. What does that mean? What that means is only 1% of people in the world invest. 99% of people don't. So they're going to get a lot of negativity. They're stepping outside of the box. They're stepping outside of their comfort zone. They're going to, have people tell them that what they're doing is not going to work. People that are close to them, friends, family. So people don't remember anything other than how you made them feel. So it's really important that we make people feel welcome, congratulate them on that decision. That's why the very first line on this document right here literally says, hey, congratulations on getting started. Welcome to the family. Finish this checklist within your first 24 to 72 hours and you'll be completely set up for success. So that's 1, we're validating their decision. Number 2 is we're setting people's expectations. Guys, the expectations that you set from the beginning are going to dictate how fast they go, the speed that they go, and how successful they could be in a relatively shorter period of time. So the expectations that you set in the beginning are everything. Number 3 is we're giving people a getting started checklist. We're giving people a map. We're giving people structure, right? I give the analogy of driving a car. I'm a crazy driver. And so if I'm driving on the freeway, then, I'm going pretty fast. But if there's fog, if I can't see what's in front of me, then I got to slow down. If it's really bad, then I got to actually pull over and stop. A lot of people in your organization may or may not be taking action right now because they're confused. They're not sure what to do. They're not sure what that next step should be. And rather than figuring it out, your average person might not be that resourceful to figure it out. But now this is going to give them a checklist, a getting started checklist. It's going to give them that direction so that they can now, so now the fog clears up and you can, and they can speed up. Okay. So that's number 3. Number 4 is we're giving people homework. They're not going to be able to learn how to be a 6-figure trader overnight, right? We're also, giving them homework as well. People think in homework, they're used to school. People are used to assignments. So at the same time, we're giving people stuff to do, right? Obviously, they can't do everything all at once. And then number 5 is results. Our goal with this checklist, both on the trading and marketing, is to get people results ultimately. Now that we have a foundation, the very first step is the leadership section. How many of you guys have ever had somebody on your team not know that they were on your team? There's been times where I've literally worked with somebody over a year and they didn't know that I was on my team until a year later, because the person who got them started never told them whose team that they were a part of. So that's very important, right? Then the next thing on the checklist is, after you complete the checklist, meet with your P600 or above for a follow-up meeting. So essentially, now, after they go through this checklist, the checklist is going to get you half of the way there. Half of this thing is automated for you. The videos, the fast start training, it's half of it's automated, but it's never going to fully take place of that human interaction of you meeting up with them and helping them crawl and take their first few steps before they could eventually walk and run on their own. So our goal is to help people complete this checklist within their first 24 hours, 48 hours, basically as soon as possible. We always say that as time goes by, people lose excitement, right? So it's time is not our friend. For the people on this call, time is our friend. Why? Because we're committed. So we're only going to get better over time. For your average person, time is not our friend. If we don't have a sense of urgency, if we're not moving with speed, people lose interest fast in today's society, right? So that's why that's so important. So after you complete the checklist, meet with your P600 or above for a follow-up meeting, where that person, that P600 or above, is going to go through this checklist with them and make sure that they understood every single step, and that we are able to fill in the blanks and make sure that nothing was missed and that everything made sense. Now, step number 1 is going through lifebydesigntraining.com, creating an account, and going through the fast start training videos. Shout out to John. He is in the process of actually redoing some of the videos so that they are brand new right now. We just had a meeting with all the chairmen and above. So he's actually making brand new, the fast start training videos right now are working amazing, but he's actually redoing them because they're a little bit older, and now they're going to be even more clean. So that's step number 1, is going through the fast start training on lifebydesigntraining.com. So let me send you this. So very first thing I do is I send them this text. New member, boom, send them this text. It's literally the step 1. It's just in the text format. So save that to your guys' notes. By the way, can you guys see my mouse? Yes or no? Yes? Okay, cool. So these little like notes right here, these are notes. I know it's kind of hard to see on Zoom, but that's why I'm gonna read some of them to you. But these are little like expectations, if you will. And so remember, one of the most important parts of the launch is setting proper expectations. And so I kind of weaved the expectations that most people, as a new launcher, they don't know what expectations they should be setting, right? And so I put that into the document so there's no guesswork. Watch our fast start training and follow along with this checklist. Boom, number 1. Number 2, by the way, all of these steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all these steps, they are in a direct correlation with the fast start training videos on the website. So people are going through the website and they're checking things off. That's why there's actually these boxes. So what I would have people do is actually physically print this out so they can write stuff on it, check stuff off, give them a checklist. And I would actually have them print it out physically. But there's also going to be a version digitally where people can actually click on the links, click on like, oh, join the chats, stuff like that. So trust me, guys, it's all there. So that's number 1. Number 2, download apps and join chats. Make sure that they have all the right apps. And when it comes to Telegram, guys, don't bombard your new person with a million chats. Your new member should be in 3 chats, maybe 4 chats max. A big mistake I see people make is they put their new person in a million chats and then they just mute them all. And they're tuned out because it's too much for the new person. For the new person, what do they need? They need the alerts chat so they know when the calls and the events are. That's very important. They need the trading chat, whichever whichever academy that they're in. There's the HFX chat, there's the DCX and the FRX, right? So whatever they're using, if they're using all of them, then they could be in all of them. And then boom, team chat. Everybody has, for the most part, their own team chat. 3-4 chats, that's it. Keep it super simple. And right here, I put this expectation. Communication is key for success. You want to add/receive value from the chats daily. What does that mean? What that means is I'm telling people how important it is to immerse themselves in the community, to become a part of Life by Design, to be talking in the chats, welcoming people, congratulating people, adding value, dropping personal development, right? What they learned for the day, and receiving value, making sure that they're not missing anything at all. And they're checking it the same way that they would their text messages, right? So that's number 2. Step number 3, setting up their demo and live account. The videos show you how to do that. So ideally, they're able to do that on their own. And it says right here, practice on demo first, then go live to get real experience and real results when they are ready. Number 3. Number 4, going through the basics of the academy. Learn all of the trading terminology. Now, I put completion dates, right? What did I say at the mastermind the other day? I said, without a deadline, procrastination tends to happen. If your teacher gave you homework and never gave you a deadline, when would you do it? Answer, never, right? So for some of these steps, especially the academy, especially their first live session, we're giving them completion dates. And so we know exactly when they're going to finish it by. And then we can literally put reminders in our phone, right? If they say, okay, I'm going to complete by this date, this time, you can put a reminder in your phone to check up with them and follow up with them. The follow-up doesn't just stop after they get involved in the business. Now that they're in the business, you got to follow up with them and make sure that they're actually doing stuff, right? So that's number 4. Number 5, the reason why this step is in red, the number 5, is because every single time we've helped people become a big success story or even a small success story when it comes to trading, it's come from go live. It's come from the live education. So nothing is more important than go live. And I think it's important that we stress that. There's people that have been in the academy for a couple weeks, 30 days, 90 days, and have never hopped on a live session. That's a problem, right? And so pick 1 to 2 educators. Obviously, you're probably going to recommend those educators for them since they're brand new. And we also have a date for their first live session. So we know when they're going to plug in to their first session. This is the most important step. Now, check this out. Look at this expectation right here. Schedule your success. Put the live trading sessions into your calendar. I always say that success is intentional. It's not accidental. You don't just hit a massive income trading on accident. It's the same way that people have a job schedule. How are you going to have a job schedule but not have a trading schedule? How are you going to have a schedule for your job and not something that's going to set you up for financial freedom? So that's number 5, is the live sessions and having them pick their educators, have their first live session day, and making sure that they plug those live sessions into their calendar so they know when to show up. Number 5. Number 6, pick one strategy. Guys, help me out. How many strategies do you need to master in order to become financially free? Drop it in the chat. 1. Sometimes people confuse multiple sources of income with doing a million different things, right? So in the beginning, I would say, hey, master one strategy. What strategies work best for you? What strategies work best for your team? And I put a couple of the strategies on there that has worked best for our team, right? Like Steady for Forex, Swipecoin for crypto, Hourglass for HFX. But those are just examples. So whatever strategy you feel like would be best for that individual. Obviously, we have people doing everything. There's 30 different strategies, by the way. So, but pick one so that they can literally plug in and copy, paste, and profit. That's the expectation right here. Copy, paste, profit. Have your mentor help you copy your first few trades, guys. So for me, I know that a lot of people struggle with taking their first few trades. So what do I like to do? I like to help them, walk, like I said, crawl before they can eventually walk and run. And so let's say I'm putting people onto Steady. Steady is one of my favorite Forex apps. And so when I'm getting a notification from Steady, or when they get one, I'm helping them take their first 1 or 2 or a few trades, because when they can see blue, when they can see results within their first 24, 48, 72 hours, what does that do to their belief system? Their belief goes from here to here. And so that's a very, very important step. We want to get people results immediately by using the services, right? So that's number 6. Number 7, risk management. Don't lie to me. How many of you guys have ever had somebody blow their account within their first month because they did not understand risk management? Probably most people on here, a lot of people. And so it's very important they understand 1 to 3%, 1 to 3%, 1 to 3%. They could print out a compound plan at compounddaily.org. Number 7. Number 8 is the system. I see a lot of people do this. I see a lot of people try to express the importance of the calls or the events after they let their team miss a few calls or events. And it seems very hypocritical. It's the expectations that you set at the beginning that's going to set your new member up for success or not. So for me, what does it say right here? The person who is plugged into the system, the calls and the events, the most wins. This is an expectation I'm setting from the beginning. So if they're not plugged in and they're not getting results, then they know why. And so there is the training times for the calls, 100chairmans.com. And there's a section for your next event. So that might be one of your weekly events. That might be a trade night in your local marketplace. If you don't have those yet, amazing. Neither did I. Guess what I did? I created them. Now, or maybe it's maybe you have a big convention coming up, whatever their next event is. It's very, very, very important within someone's first few days, first 7 days, as soon as possible to get them plugged into their first event so they could see success stories, so they could be inspired, so they could see testimonies, so they can meet the people. The events are everything. And so, boom, there's a little section so that you can give them their first, when's their next call and when is their next event, and they know exactly where the system is and when to plug into the calls and the events. Number 8. Now, number 9, begin your personal development journey. Before I got involved in this industry, if you said personal development to me, I would have said, what the hell are you talking about? I did not know that existed. I never read any type of books, right? And so check this out. Very specifically, I recommend the compound effect to begin people's personal development journey. Why? Very simply because my first year in this industry, I didn't make any money. I didn't see any results externally, but I saw changes internally. And I believe the reason why I committed for the long term was because I understood the compound effect, that success doesn't just happen overnight. I joined the industry when I was 19. If it took me 20 years to have a poor mentality, what makes me believe I'm gonna be able to get rich in a couple months or in a year or right away, right? And so the compound effect is beginning to shift people into that long-term thinking, into that long-term vision. And the power of the compound effect helps both people for trading and for building the business as well. So it's something that I believe that everybody, I don't think I would have stuck around had I not read that book. And that was I believe it was the first or second book that I ever read. And so that's why I recommend that first. Now you can see right here, most people focus on the income. You should focus on the person that you need to become. Right? Obviously, yeah, the end goal is to make money. Some people have success fast, but let's be real. A lot of people, including myself, have success slow. So getting people to understand that, hey, this is a long-term thing. Hey, if you're working on yourself every single day, harder than you are anything else, then you're going to get the results that you want. So that's number 9. Number 10, daily method of operations. What should people be doing every single day? It says your daily routine will take you straight to your dreams. And so here are, a half a dozen things. Some of them don't even take time really, but your new person or everybody on this call should be doing daily, giving people that daily direction. So number 1, I have 1 live session a day, maybe 5 days a week, right? Hopping on the live sessions. We already talked about how important that is. Number 2, we got copying trade ideas from our professional educators when you're brand new, especially. Number 3, I got tracking your trades. Whatever you track grows. And you cannot grow what you do not track. So making sure that you're writing things down. Number 4, communication in the chat / with your mentor. For someone's first month, they are going to need a little bit of holding their hand. Obviously, our goal is to get them independent as quickly as possible, but there's going to be a lot of communication specifically within those first few days, first few weeks, first month. Plug into the system, 1 training a day. Most people are working in the evening or in the morning. So whichever one, if they're working in the evening, have them plug into the afternoon call and vice versa. If they're working in the morning, most people working 9 to 5, have them plug into the later call. Personal development, book or audio, 5 pages a day or 15, 30 minutes a day. We understand as leaders that an hour in the field is worth 20 hours in the classroom. We don't want people thinking that they're being productive by reading books and listening to audios all day, but it is something that people should be doing every single day. And then last but not least I have is marking up charts alongside educators. We don't want to develop a bunch of people who are dependent on other people. We want to create independent, self-sufficient, successful traders. Now at the bottom, I have my favorite expectation that I like to set. The number one piece of advice for a new trader or really new entrepreneur is be here a year from now. What does that mean? What that means is this is a marathon, not a sprint. Give yourself time to succeed. If y'all like this, drop some 777s in the chat. Every word has been calculated in this document. Every step in order. There's an order of operations. There's a method to the madness. And I truly believe that if someone walks through this step by step by step by step, it's almost impossible to fail. Anybody have any questions before I move on to the back side of the document? Go ahead and drop them in the chat if you have any questions. Any questions, comments, or observations? Self-explanatory. Now, if you get Bob started and Bob's struggling, you can go back to Bob's launch document and be like, Bob, did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? And you can see where they messed up, right? And you can see where that leak in the pipeline was. Because if they are not having the success that they want, 99.9% of the time, guess what? It's one of these 10 steps. How can we get this document? That is a great question. This version that you're looking at is 99% done. And I will drop the updated version tonight in some of your guys' group chats. So ask your P600. Okay, Lan said she's going to drop it in the alerts chat. It's like 99% done. There's like 1 or 2 very small grammatical errors, but we're getting that done today. What books did you read? Zach, that is a great question. They're all in this document. The first one, like I said, was the compound effect, and the other ones are actually on the back side of the document. So I'll get to that. Can you send your text you sent in this chat? We can't copy it in here. I think you can copy it in here, but yeah, I'll send it in the chats as well. Okay, perfect. So this is the trading side of things. Obviously, every single individual, we're signing up for a trading education company. So this is going to be, what comes first. Now, next, let's move on. Hold on one second. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, perfect. So I like to refer, by the way, guys, communication is very important, meaning we need to be operating on the same frequency. We need to be using the same language. What happens is people use different language to describe different things. And that is how people end up losing, because you thought that something was taken care of, but it actually wasn't, based off of the fact that people are using different language. What's an example? A good example of that is when I'm referring to the launch, typically I'm referring to the why, the goals, the list, the invite. That's why when I think about the launch, right? So if I ask you, hey, did you launch your new person? And you say yes, but they haven't been launched yet, it could cause confusion. So that's why we called the front part of the document the Life by Design Trading Startup, because that's how it is on the actual website. It's like the phase 1 section is divided into 2 sections. It's trading startup and the launch. So instead of saying, hey, if you're talking about the trading side of things, I would say, hey, if I'm talking to you, I'll probably say, hey, was your new person able to, go through the trading startup, or were they able to set up their services properly? That's usually the language that I'm using. When I'm talking about the business, when I'm talking about marketing, when I'm talking about building, that's when I'm talking about the launch. typically speaking. And it's very important that we use language because I see every single day communication not being there 100%. So it's all important that we're on the same page. Now, let's get into this. How much time do I have left? Oh, perfect. Plenty of time. So the Life by Design launch. So this is a 2-page document, got a front side and a back side. We wanted to keep it super simple and less is more. So the very first thing that we got is the vision. Our vision is to empower, enrich, and to educate over 1 million lives. See, right here, there's a spelling error. Our vision to empower. Our vision is to empower. Let me fix that right now. Let me write that down right now. Perfect. So yeah, our vision is to empower, to enrich, and to educate 1 million lives. Some people don't know the vision of the company, and that's why we're not moving in synchronicity. So it's very important that we understand that it's one team, one dream. We're all working towards a common goal. Why? Because that is how momentum is created when everyone is moving in synchronicity. Now, guess what? The very first thing I like to ask people, my question is very simply this. After we go through the trading side of things, these are the magical words. I say, hey, what are your goals for Platinum 150, Platinum 600, Platinum 1000? Or I'll say, hey, what are your goals for hitting the first few ranks within the company? Now, this is very important. I did not say, do you want to build the business? I did not say, do you want to recruit people? I did not say, do you want to refer people? And the same way when I'm presenting the opportunity that I assume interest, I'm going to assume that someone's interested unless they tell me that they're not, because why wouldn't they be? It's an amazing opportunity. Now, if they're not, then that's perfectly fine. I'll help them just focus on the trading side of things. And guess what? When they get results and they are confident, what do you think they're going to want to do anyways, right? Once you help them take their first few trades, help them with their first live session, what do you think they're going to want to do anyways? So either way, it's fine. But I always like to assume interest. Whatever you assume to be true is typically true. And so oftentimes people will also ask me, they'll be like, okay, like, when should I start building the business, or why should I start building the business? And so guess what? The very first thing that we put under the mission, under the vision, is the main reasons why. People aren't going to do something unless they know why they should be doing it. So I always begin with why. I always start with why something is important. So look at this little quote right here. It says, we already refer people to things every single day. If you see a good movie, you tell your friends about it, but you don't get paid for it. Here, you could share services that will help people and get paid for it at the same time. Now you can offset your monthly subscription and trade with the company's money rather than your own. What's the biggest, most important reasons why somebody should build the business? Well, because they're already doing that. We already are referring people to different things every single day. It's something that they're already doing. So why wouldn't you do it anyways, right? And you'll have extra money to offset your monthly subscription / trade with. So we put that in there because a lot of people, this is something that I naturally say to people when I'm launching them, but I understand that as a new launcher, you might not understand that. So that's why I put that there. Now, like I said, we got the why, the goals, the list, the invite. So number one is, what is their why? Remember, all these things are in the videos, are in the Life by Design videos. So they've already gone through all this stuff, and they should already have this like all written out for you. But so what I like to do is I'll say, hey, Nick, I'll say, hey, bro. So when it comes to your why, this is everything, right? Desire is the starting point of all achievement, right? When you want something bad enough, you'll find the way or you'll make a way. And let me give you an example. What I like to do when I'm launching somebody, I don't expect someone else to open up to me if I have not opened up to them first. And I'll share with them my reason why, what motivates me, what lights me on fire. Another thing with the why is you'll tend to get people to say things that they think are socially acceptable rather than the real reason why they're doing it. Oh, I just want to help everybody. Oh, I just want to do this. I was like, we got to figure out what is it that really motivates them. If it's just you want to prove other people wrong, if it's you just want to get rich, like what is it really that motivates you? And that's key, is really figuring out what it really is, not just what sounds good. So that's number one. And guess what? We put a little quote in the background that says, tough times don't last, tough people do. Remember why you started. Now, after they tell you their why, guess what you're going to say? You're going to say, hey, listen, we're shrinking a 40-year plan, work for 40 years and then retire. into a 2 to 4 year plan. Work for, a few years and be able to walk away from your job if you wish to. There's going to be the same amount of ups and downs, but in a compressed period of time, right? So if you're not showing up, if you're not doing what you said that you would do in the beginning, do you want me to leave you alone or remind you why I got started? Now, this is how you hold people accountable. Now, if they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, you can remind them why they got started. But if you don't set the expectation from the beginning, it just comes off rude. If you don't say that in the beginning and you're just like, yo, I thought you were doing this for your mom, bro, you just seem like an asshole, to be completely honest with you. But if you are reminding them of their why, if they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, after you set that expectation from the beginning, guess what? You actually are just being a good coach and being a good mentor. So what is their why? Number one. Number two is their goals. You want to begin with the end in mind and then reverse engineer your goal. Everybody wants to hit that chairman 10. Everybody wants to hit that 6-figure level, right? So that's going to be that longer term goal. Honestly, 1 to 2 years, a few years is not really long term, to be completely honest with you. But in today's society, it's kind of long term. So put long term goal, chairman 10 equals 500 customers, 10 grand a month, right? And then we have little affirmations. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am a chairman 10 by, and then we have example dates within the next 12 months, within the next 2 years, whatever that goal is for them. But we can kind of give them those timeframes ourselves. And then you begin with the end in mind and you reverse engineer that goal, right? In order for you to hit C10, all you got to do is help 10 people hit platinum 1000. Well, how do you hit platinum 1000? That's the medium term goal. Well, if you want to hit chairman 10 in the next 12 months, all you got to do is hit platinum 1000 and duplicate one platinum 1000 every month for the next, next year, right? So how do you hit platinum 1000? Medium term goal, platinum 1000, 30 customers, $1,000 a month. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am a platinum 1000 by, say, the next 30, 60, 90 days, or whatever their goal is. Obviously, it's going to be different for each person, but it's up to us to use our discernment, the ability to judge well on what their goal should be. And then short term, platinum 150. By the way, the launch, that's the main thing is we're just trying to become a P150 factory. We're trying to get people to platinum 150 as quickly as possible. You can't hit P1000, P600 if you don't hit P150. So this is the most important thing first. So happy and grateful now I'm a P150 by first few days, first week. How do you hit P150? It's this simple. You want to break things down and make them so dummy simple that anybody believe that they could do it. Why? Because they can. In order to hit P150, all you have to do, bro, is if you invite 30 people, friends, family, people from whatever, right? 1 out of 10 will join. We'll do the presentation for you. All you got to do is simply invite them. If you invite 30, and let's just say worst case scenario, I want to under promise and over deliver. 1 out of 10 join, boom, P150 done. How long do you think it would take you for it to invite 30 people? 30 minutes, right? That's why we're setting that expectation of helping them hit P150 immediately. Drop a yes in the chat if you believe that if somebody invites 30 people in their warm market, they have a fresh list and they invite them correctly, that they can hit P150 every single time within their first week. Drop a yes in the chat. If somebody's brand new, has a new list of 30 names and invites them 100% the correct way, exposes all of them, there is a 99.9% chance that they are going to hit P150. The biggest problem is people are A, inviting wrong, or B, they're just not going through enough numbers. One of the two. And so that's that. So we have their goals set. Now it's important to get the why and the goals, and then you give them the actions to take. It's important to think in other people. Why do you think the why and the goals are first? There's an order of operations. We think in terms of other people's interests. We don't tell people, oh, just invite, oh, just make your list. They don't know why they're doing it. They don't know that this is going to help them accomplish their goal, accomplish their why. So that's why it goes the why, the goals, and then the list. Now we give them the direction after we figure out what it is that they want. Now we can show them how to get it. So number 3 is the list. So we have 30. Now you have to use your discernment because some people are very, very, very scared to invite. And if I sense somebody is very naturally introverted, very scared to invite, then I'll have them just make a list of 10. I'll be like, hey, bro, let's just make it this simple. Just make a list of 10. Because I know that I told you 1 out of 10, but really it's probably like 3 out of 10 that see the information that's going to join. And if we can invite your top 10 list, boom, we'll get you P150 like that, right? We know as leaders that the bigger the list, the better, but sometimes they're a little bit scared. But if we can help them get to P150 and the information that we give them works, then boom, now they make a bigger list afterwards. Now they'll become more coachable afterwards because what you told them actually worked. If someone's like all in, they're like, yo, I want to go chairman 10 in the next 90 days. And they're serious, or the next 6 months, and they're serious, have them make a list of 100, 200. The bigger the list, the better. Why 30? Just because we wanted to make it simple. Invite 30, 1 out of 10, P150 done. Now, very important, tell them the difference between warm market and cold market. It's in the video, but we want people to start with the people that they know first. We know that people want to do business with people that they know, like, and trust. It's a lot easier. It's a lot faster. Some people, for whatever reason, have the urge to want to talk to people in their cold market first, but it's up to us to reshift their focus, redirect their focus to what's going to get them results now. And you'll notice that people will do anything and everything but the one thing that's going to get them results. And it's up to us as leaders to shift their focus back to, okay, what's going to get them results now? So have them start with their warm market. And then right here, it says your average person meets 2 new people a day. So you want to add people to your list daily. We want to explain to people that the list is not something that you just make once and you're done. The list is something that you're adding to daily, because chances are a lot of the leaders that are going to get them to those big, if they want to hit P150, P600, P1000, that's amazing. They might be able to do that all through their warm market. But if they want to get, to P5, chairman 10, chairman 25, a lot of those leaders are going to come from people that they meet afterwards. And it's important to set that expectation from when? The beginning. Now, we also have a little visual. People are very visual. And we have a little spot for their first 3 referrals for them to hit P150. So boom, that's the list. Now, number 4 is the invite. When it comes to inviting, guess why it's in red? Because this is the most important step. On trading, the most important step is the go live session. On building, the most important step is the invite session. What's the invite session? The invite session is where you, as a leader, sit down with your new person and watch them invite their list and make sure that they do it the correct way. Why do you do this? Because 99% of the time, if you don't do this, they either A, don't go through the numbers, or B, maybe they do go through the numbers, but they burn through their list and invite them incorrectly because you didn't train them properly. It's like me getting a job and my manager at my job expecting me to know how to do the job without training me properly. No, we want to sit down with them, make sure that they understand the invite, make sure that they understand how to handle some of these simple, normal objections, like what is it? Making sure that they have their tonality down, and just boom, like the same way you help somebody copy, paste, and profit, you can guarantee their success. If you help somebody invite, you can pretty much guarantee that they're going to hit P150. And guess what? As a leader, I don't live my business up to chance. I don't know about you. If I get Bob started, I treat Bob like he's my next chairman, but I work with Bob as if he's going to quit tomorrow. What does that mean? I treat everybody with respect. I treat everybody, with love, but we know how this works. Let's be real. A lot of people are here today, gone tomorrow. So I'll be damned if Bob doesn't hit P150. So I have at least 3 new people to work with. If worst case scenario, Bob decides that, oh, this isn't for him. So with the invite, by the way, guys, I see people spend 80% of their time on the why goals list and like 20% of their time, sometimes 2% of their time on the invite. It should be the complete opposite. It should be, let's spend 20% of our time on the why, the goals, the list, and 80% of our time on what's going to actually get people the results, the invite. So there's keys to inviting. 90% of the invite, like we know, is not what you say, but it's how you're saying it. It's your excitement. And, I always tell people that if someone's excited, if Nick's inviting me and he's excited, I'm thinking in my head, okay, Nick must have something good. Otherwise, he would not be this fired up. What he has must be good. That's what excitement, those are the unspoken words of your tonality. Certainty. Whenever there's a relationship between 2 people, whoever's more certain will always persuade the other person. Urgency. If you make it important, they'll make it important. I always assume interest. I always tell, I don't necessarily ask when it comes to my warm market. If I'm inviting somebody, why would I ask? I don't ask if people are interested. I don't assume people are interested or not. I show them the information and let them tell me afterwards if they're interested or not. You just never know. We all know not to prejudge, and the people that we think won't will, and vice versa, right? So urgency, if you make it important, they'll make it important. And exclusivity, people really, really want what they cannot have. And then we always tell people to call versus text. Calling is way better than texting because of that transfer of energy that happens over the phone. Texting can work, but with their top 10, 20, 30 list, people that they already have their numbers with, people that they're already talking to a lot, we want them to call because that's going to be a million times better. They're going to get at least twice as good, if not, 3, 4, 5 times as good results calling versus texting. Now, let's go over the script very briefly. So this is the little invite script. This is more of a template. This is more of a foundation than it is a word for word script. However, if you use it word for word, it's actually going to work. So, but this is most importantly, this is an order of operation. Like this is like step by step by step. So I call Nick. I say, hey, what's up, Nick? Hey, how are you? Hey, what's going on? Normal conversation. He said, hey, what's going on? I said, hey, I'm about to hop on another call. I only have a second to talk. We always want to be in a rush because we want to be the preview to the movie. We don't want to give a presentation in a 30-second conversation. We'll confuse people or scare them away. We want to be on the phone. We want to be off the phone, right? Then he says, hey, I'm free. Why? What's up? What's going on? I say, hey, listen, bro, I'm working on something really big. And I thought about you because you're a go-getter. I thought about you because you're one of my closest friends. When you compliment them or you insert their why, and I thought about you because I know that you're, trying to make money while going to college without having to work a job. The more personal the invite, the more that they're going to feel like they personally need to show up. Genuine compliment. Why them? You got to validate the reason why you're reaching out to them. If not, they're going to be like, why me? Since you're free, basically saying there's no excuse for you to not be there. You already told me that you're free. Since you're free, tomorrow at 7, whenever the op call is, whenever the event is, since you're free, since you're free, come by my place. Let's say you're having a home event, or hey, say, since you're free, I'm going to send you a link on Zoom. And I'm excited to get your opinion on it. That's it. You're on the phone, you're off the phone. Most people overcomplicate it. My perfect invite when I was brand new is, I'm working on something big and I want to get your opinion. That was my perfect invite. Less is more. I never use trading. I never use investing. Remember, only 1% of people in the world actually trade and invest. Unless I already specifically know that it's something that they're into, then yeah, I might mention it, but you got to, again, use that discernment, use that ability to judge well. Now, if they have questions, that's the last box. If they have, hey, what is it? How does it work? What's this? What's that? It's all the same. It doesn't matter what question they have, what objection that they have, the answer is the same. Like I said, I do got to go. Remember, you told them that you were in a rush. And the information is mostly visual. Basically, you're saying you're basically telling them they need to see it in order to fully understand it. And it wouldn't make sense over the phone. But trust me, leverage your trust. These are people that know you, like you, trust you, right? Trust me, it'll all make sense. Trust me, after the event / call, it'll all make sense. You're already painting a picture in their mind that they're there. You're assuming interest. It'll all make sense after the event / call. And I think you're going to be excited about it. Does that sound good? How does that sound? I always say sounds good. I always say, how does that sound? Because you're going to get a yes 9 times out of 10. Now that we understand the perfect invite, then we have 3 things that we need to book. We need to book the invite session. We need to book a home event and an opportunity call. So you may not be able to have a home event, right? Obviously we got some crazy things going on with COVID and stuff like that, depending on where it is that you live. But I had a full-time income in network marketing. I didn't even know what Zoom was. I did it in the living room. Now, obviously we have Zoom. I say, hey, why not do both if possible? So what I like to do is if someone's brand new, I like to set them up their own private home event and their own private opportunity call. After that, yeah, let's have them invite for the weekly events. After that, yeah, let's have them invite for the group opportunity calls. But understand that if somebody is having a private op call versus a big group Life by Design op call, guess what? They're going to invite 10 times harder to the private op call because they understand that the amount of guests that they get to that op call is going to be a direct reflection of their work and no one else is inviting for it. But they're not going to feel as bad as if they're not going to go as hard if they're inviting to a group call because they know that other people are inviting for it. It's like their launch. It's like their grand opening. If you have if you're opening up a restaurant, guess what you're going to have? You're going to have, boom, a grand opening. Same thing with this business. That's what a home event and an opportunity call is for. So you're booking the invite session. You want to help them invite, basically as soon as possible. So you set up that time where you're going to help them with sitting there and inspecting what you expect. Write this down. You want to inspect what you expect. You want to make sure that it's getting done properly. You don't want to assume that it's getting done properly, right? And you're going to sit down with them and literally be there, role play with them a little bit, make sure that they got the invite down, and then help them invite their entire top 30 list. So you can guarantee that they hit P150. What are they inviting to? Either a home event for local people and an opportunity call, private op call with non-local people. And who's doing the presentation? Depends. Probably the leaders that you're working with. Okay, last but not least, we got these steps down here. So these are just, remember, I told you guys that we got to give people some homework. We can't do everything all in 1 hour, right? So some extra steps, some next steps, I should say next steps is I like to have people create a poll. So this is one that I created back in the day. It says learning about investing. It was a picture of me with a chart, or like me, like on a live trading, on a go live session. And it says, hey, I'm learning about investing. Hey, there's a little poll. It says, I want to learn too, or, hey, I already invest. And that's a great way for your new person to generate organic leads that way. And then just like we have DMOs for trading, we have DMOs for marketing, prospecting, 2 to 5 people every single day, presenting, showing the plan a handful of times a week, and promoting. We always talk about the basics, the 3 Ps. And then last but not least, personal development. I structured it in a way where, number one, we have the compound effect. This is going to instill that long-term mindset, the understanding that success is the seemingly small, insignificant things that we do over a long period of time. If I want to be successful in trading, guess what? I got to hop on 1 live session a day, right? And that's what's going to be success. It's not going to be that overnight thing, most likely. Then the next book I have on here is Business of the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki. Most people, if people knew what this industry was, I believe that 99% of people would be doing it. Most people aren't going hard because they don't realize what it is that they're in. So when you read the book, Business of the 21st Century, which breaks down the facts on why this industry is the best business in the world for your average person, you're going to be acting, walking, and talking differently. So that's the next book. Then after that, once they have the mindset with the compound effect and Business of the 21st Century, guess what we're going to give them? The skill set. Right? So GoPro and Building an Empire, those are the 2 best books in the world for building the business. I'm giving you the how-tos on how to invite, how to present, how to close, how to launch. It's all there. And then last but not least is How to Win Friends and Influence People. That book helped me more than any other book that I've ever read, because I was very naturally introverted. And for me, I couldn't talk to one person, let alone, 130 people that are on this call right now. And that a business is what? A group of people. So if you don't know how to win friends and influence people, guess what? You're done. But if you know how to win friends and influence people, you are going to win. That is it, family. We got done with 2 minutes to spare. If y'all have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat now. If so. Appreciate y'all. Does the script work every time? No script works every time. Works most of the time. And remember, guys, the script is for your warm market. This is for people that they already know. That's who they should be talking to initially. They need to learn cold marketing later on. All right. Appreciate you guys. Since there's no questions being asked, I believe we are Gucci. Would you focus more on building now that we are coming towards the end of the year? I mean, I would just do both. Doesn't really matter what time of the year it is. I would just do both, If I find $200 bills, I'm gonna pick up both. One's dirty, one's clean. I'm still picking up both. I'm just picking up both. All right. Appreciate y'all. If y'all got some value, drop something on my last post from I'm United on my Instagram. I would appreciate it. And if you have any questions for me, hit me up on IG. I got y'all. Life by Design. I'm telling you guys, with this information, not just this information, but with the leadership in Life by Design, I'm telling you guys, the next 4 months, all the way up until the next convention, is going to be scary. We are going to see a crazy, crazy, crazy amount of growth. Last thing, $99 for a general admission ticket to March Madness, to that next event 4 months from now. Every single person on here should get their ticket, number one. Number two, if you have somebody that you care about, that you want to be successful, nothing is going to be more important in 2022 than getting them to that event. I've never seen a ticket that cheap for a convention like this before. And conventions are what has allowed me to get to this level, and all the other leaders as well, guys. So rather than procrastinating, waiting last minute, you know what I'm doing? I'm promoting that next convention, March Madness, as if it's this month, because I understand that if I can get people to get their ticket now and commit now, you want to promote early and promote often. The earlier that you promote, no excuses. Most people's excuses are time and money. Well, guess what? It's 4 months away. You can figure everything out. Money, it's $99 for a ticket. Like, figure it out. And the promotion ends this Sunday. So have every single person on your team get that ticket. I promise you, this business is built from event to event. So love you guys all. Have an amazing rest of your guys' night. Hit me up on Instagram if you need anything, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.